What is this exactly for?
Your Instagram. So you're live right now.
Hello.
Thank you, Steve. You made it very easy for me.
Well, all right. Look at that. Welcome. I'm Mark
Hello,
Goodman.
Marco.
Hey, there's Rick Springfield, everybody. Welcome to Talk Shop Live. I am Mark Goodman. Sirius XM is where you generally hear me, or maybe you're one of the 4 or 5 people who listen to my podcast, Sound Up with Mark Goodman and Alan Light. Hopefully more after this. But we are here tonight to talk with Rick Springfield about this incredible new project that he's got going on. Big Hits, Rick Springfield's Greatest Hits, Volume 2. It's kind of incomprehensible to me, Rick, how much music you put out since the pause in your, that 10-year break. By my count, you have about 13 albums since 1999. That's something
I
like
think
that.
that's about right. Yeah.
Which kind of blows my mind. But so this is a huge project, Big Hits, Rick Springfield's Greatest Hits, Volume 2. And you have an exclusive opportunity to pre-order this right now. Get the CD or the double LP clear vinyl. The CD and vinyl come with a card signed by Mr. Springfield. Or get the very special deluxe box set, which includes the double LP clear vinyl, CD, turntable mat, and a photography book, Burning Film, Rick Springfield Through the Lens, with a foreword by Rick himself, which is freaking hysterical. So it's all here for you. Just press the shop button on Talk Shop Live or comment the word buy if you're watching on Facebook or Instagram, and you'll get a link back in your DMs so you can make the purchase. All right?
Wow.
Everybody up on it. And Rick, I'm going to be calling on you. We're going to be doing some demo, like you'll have to, maybe if you have an album cover or something. You can hold up.
I do, actually.
So just for fun, since we're introing it, let's see what the album looks like.
Hang on, let me put this thing down. The album, it looks like that.
Aww.
It's a hark back to Working Class Dog, but
It sure is.
and someone asked me, is that the same dog? And if it was,
I
he'd be
wish.
350 years old.
Right.
So we had to get another dog. We got one that looked kind of like Ronnie, my boy, and threw some boxing gloves on him, which didn't stay
I
on.
love
Because
that.
as you can see, he doesn't have shoulders.
That's a problem with those dogs.
I know they have 0 shoulders and not real hips either. So those shorts are slipping way down.
Apparently knocked your
Look at
ass
that.
out, though. Look at that. All right. It really is. It's a really, really cool collection. And as we were saying, I sort of hinted at the fact that it covers from Karma, 1999, Karma, through last year's Automatic. The deluxe edition, I said there's rarities, unreleased tracks, plus that new song, which we're going to get to, Lose Myself. And as if all that wasn't enough, there is the coffee table book that I just mentioned. All of that available to you. So,
Do I have to pay for it?
Yes.
I don't know about having a coffee table book on my coffee table of me. That sounds like something you'd do.
I do. As a matter of fact, you should see I have
Your
my
coffee
book
table
on my
book is
coffee
Mark
table.
Goodman naked.
So look, as I said, you've released since Karma like 13 albums. And just for fun, I wanted to start with Karma, where this collection begins, because that was you returning to life, to the
the
stage,
dead.
to recording, all of that, but not from the dead. What was your state of mind? What was your sort of spiritual position at that point, coming back after all that time, spending time with your wife and with your sons? What was that?
I was very nervous about it. The sessions were a lot of fun. I had a lot of confidence in the songs for Karma, and it was
Were the songs on Karma things that you had come up with during that 10 years?
no, it really. I write kind of the months before,
Mhm.
old songs. I kind of lose interest in, but they were all later songs. But
Right.
it was the last thing I did with Bill Drescher, actually, who I did a lot of the early '80s stuff with, and it's a good sounding record. It's very similar sound wise to, I think, stuff that we had left off doing, just updated a little. But it was a kind of nervous record for me because I wasn't sure, if I could even go out and play anymore. It was
Right.
weird.
And by the way, I have to say to everyone, that makes what has happened since 1999 all the more impressive. It really is. Your output is stunning to me, and just your energy. My God, there's memoirs, there's fiction books, there's movies, there's TV. And there's new song after new song after new song, including the new one, which we're going to get to a little bit later on in the show, if you haven't heard it. But since I wanted to just talk about Karma for a second, because I thought, what a weird place you must be in to come back and get into the studio again and start to do interviews again and play on stage again.
Play on stage was very weird. That was a weird one. The first gig, I think, was in Las Vegas, and I had no idea if anyone was going to show up. It was very, very. It's quite a mind fuck, actually. Can I say that? I don't know. Mind? Can I say the word mind? Yeah. Okay. Good.
I think probably people showed, because you wound up doing a residency in Vegas. For how many years was that?
No, this was before that.
Wait, but that's what I'm saying. So people
this was
showed
way
up.
before
So
that. Yeah. That was 2000. This was like, early, late 90s or something. I don't know.
right. That's kind of the thing, that how many artists can do what you did, step away for 10 freaking years and come back.
Yeah.
And not only come back, but come back in the way that you have. Is really something. I don't mean to just sort of blow smoke. I just wanted to point that out to people, because maybe people don't realize that there was that huge pause.
Yeah, I had to take a break. I pulled the plug in like '85 and put
Right.
another album out, Rock Up Life, in '88. But it was I kind of pulled the plug, because I had to. I was not doing well mentally, and so I think because I did pull the plug, I was able to continue afterwards and be able to have something to say and write and have energy to play.
Something that also seems to have happened since you have come back, and that this over the course of these records that we're talking about, is you've really become revealing, brave, I think, to talk about the things, talk about depression. And I mean, people talk to you about it all the time now. I see you talking about it all the time as though it were easy.
Yeah, depression's not easy, but talking about it now is, because I first wrote about it in my autobiography, and only because it's part of me, to leave it out. And I thought you were supposed to be truthful in autobiographies. I didn't know you were supposed to lie and build your image up and shit. But I thought you were supposed to be truthful. So I was painfully truthful. And it kind of became a thing. People zeroed in on the fact that I had to deal with depression and, could still have a somewhat successful life. And that's really my PSA is that's really because a lot of people suffer from it, and a lot of people don't admit it, and a lot of people are ashamed of it and that kind of thing. I actually won an award for not being ashamed of being depressed, which is really weird. But
Wow, I didn't know they gave out awards for that.
yes,
That's
they do.
fantastic.
I didn't think I'd ever win one, but I did.
Carol S is in chat asking, wondering if you have a vault of unreleased material that'll be released in the future, similar to what we learned about Prince?
I don't have a vault. I have a bunch of tapes and stuff. It's very early stuff, actually. It's kind of interesting to me. I don't think it'd be very interesting to anybody else. Really badly recorded 4-track demos of stuff. Wow, like from 1975 and 76 and 77. Pretty weird, weird sounding. I mean, there's some interesting kind of parts, but hadn't really hit my stride. I'm a late bloomer, so took a while.
Among the special little bonus items there are in this collection, the first one I wanted to talk with you about is the Party at the Beach Bar. Sammy Hagar on this track, unreleased single that is part of this collection. People may or may not know that not only are you business partners currently with Sammy, but that he had that big song that you covered and made a hit for him. Can you talk about the beginning of your relationship with Sammy? How did you bump into each other backstage, and how did you become business partners? How did you become friends over the years?
Well, Keith Olsen actually was responsible for the hookup. Keith had the song. Keith was a big producer of the Fleetwood Mac and Foreigner and Benatar and all those early 80s. And so he, when I was unknown, Joe, the owner of Sound Cities, asked him if he would do a couple of tracks with me. So I picked Jesse's Girl from my demos, of course. I mean, well, not of course, but he did. And he came up with another one, the Sammy Hagar song, which I was bummed because I wanted him to do another one of my songs, but he had a lot of faith in this Sammy Hagar song, and I did it, and it worked out for both of us. And I met Sammy when I was doing live shows, and he was actually really helpful in helping me get sound together and kind of get the live show on the road.
Well, so Keith Olsen introduced you?
What's that?
Keith Olsen introduced you guys?
Yeah. Well, through the song, and then Sammy came down and when we were doing live stuff and helped, get the live thing going. And we just saw each other through the years, when he was in Van Halen and when he was doing his solo stuff, and just, we'd see each other. And over COVID, he called me up and said, do I want to get involved? Because I was looking to get involved in the alcohol business. And he said, instead of being opposition, why don't you come on board as a partner? So because of our relationship before, it sounded like a match made in heaven.
Indeed.
And it's great. The rum is amazing. So I love the product, and it's been fun promoting it. So
Sammy is, I think, one of the happiest men in music.
Yep.
He just is Mr. Smiles, Mr. Positive. Was he always like that? I mean, after you sell your business, you sell, a stake in your business for $80 million, you get pretty happy. But
yeah, he loves, is very happy with where he is. He always says the last thing, if he lost everything, the last thing he'd want to lose is his airplane. So that's a champagne problem. But he's had his issues through his career. I remember reading something in Palm Springs in like the early 80s where I think he was slamming REO or somebody, but he's always had a mouth.
Yes.
I mean, he's got a mouth, and now I mean, I'm in awe when he just goes off. He can talk and charm people, and he's just a lovely guy, and as we've all gotten a little more mellow as we've gotten older, and the gloves have kind of come off, and we're okay with it.
Nothing to lose. Say whatever. It's simple.
Hell yeah.
So we're talking to Rick Springfield about this.
You can't offend anybody anymore, so it's cool.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes, you can.
Oh, easier than ever. By the way, for those who are seeing Rick, he does have a collection of, I'm hoping, toy weapons that he's been pointing at us. Okay. So while Rick's firing at you, why not press the shop button on Talk Shop Live or comment buy on Facebook or Instagram to receive a link to purchase this double LP, clear vinyl, or signed CD. There you go. With thank you. With signed card. That's important. This is signed, a signed CD, or the box set with signed photography book, which is
Yeah, the photography
beautiful.
book's actually really cool.
It looks amazing. I've only seen 5 or 6 or 7 of the photos, but it's over 20 some years.
Yeah. Jay's been kind of the main photographer. Jay has been the main photographer for like that long, right?
Yes.
And he's a great photographer, and so we thought we'd put a bunch of the best stuff together into a book, and
Forcing us all to buy coffee tables.
Yeah, I don't have a coffee table. I don't exactly know what a coffee table is. Is that like that round table in Starbucks?
What, you
So I
don't
gotta
have
bring
that
one
in
of those?
Australia or something?
I don't know, dude. Who called it a friggin' coffee table book? It's a book,
It's a
photography book. No
Well, it's
such
a
thing
book
as a
you-
coffee table.
You could put it on the side table.
Side table book, kitchen table book,
Um,
bedside book.
I want to talk about some of the other stuff that's on this collection, because some of the stuff is really fun, and I'm glad that you felt confident enough to put some of it on there. But speaking a little more generally, was this collection, was there anything like what must have happened as you wrote your memoir? Like to go back through all of these albums and sift through and outtakes and stuff that you hadn't released, and were you sort of reliving moments or flashing back?
Yeah, to a degree. I mean, I don't really. Why am I big screen? Why can't I see Mark II? I want to see Mark II. It's just me. There you go.
Asking you
Come
shall.
on, I got to see Marco. I don't want to stare at my mug the whole time. Yeah, it was. I mean, I think the ones to add were kind of obvious. The stuff that we hadn't released. I'm kind of bummed actually we didn't put Jet on there. There's a great version of Jet that we did live, but can't put everything on there. And there's some good stuff on there. There's a couple of things people haven't heard. There's a redo of. Hang on, let me see if I can remember the melody.
Yeah,
I don't know if I can. I go something like.
try really hard, because this is such a good song.
Yeah, it's something like that. It's a song that I wrote in the early 1800s, and we did a redo of it. And it's and I
Why?
don't like remakes,
Yeah.
because the song so well. So I copped it exactly. And if you can tell the difference, other than it sounds bigger, I'll come to your house and make you dinner. And you don't want me to do that.
All righty. You heard it. You heard it right here. I mean, why? Why do Jesse's Girl over?
Why? What?
Why do Jesse's Girl over?
Because I own it.
Well, of course you're allowed.
Yeah.
But as
no,
you say,
well,
say,
'cause-
everybody knows it's the track.
Yeah, it sounds better, I mean, it's certainly the original one. It is what it is, but I mean, I will probably end up redoing all the old ones. I mean, it's not an unknown thing. Certainly, many
Sure.
artists have done it, but we just started with Jesse's Girl because it's the obvious one.
The thing about those redos is it seems to be a dodgy business, because with Jesse's Girl in particular, the biggest song ever, the most recognizable, your signature song, and everybody knows every nuance because we've heard it so many times. So to wind up doing it over again, I wondered, why not, I don't know, change it up.
Because I
New
hate
lyrics, 10-minute version.
I heard a redo of and I know that song so well, and I didn't like it because all those little nuances were gone. It was a different version, and I don't, I mean, anyone can play that. So I just copped the whole song and because I wanted it, and we've already had it in movies and TV things, and so, and everybody's going to ask when they get the album, has it got Jesse's Girl on it?
All right, and the answer is
Okay. I don't know.
We've got Sonia D in chat asking, my boys and I saw you in Bozeman. They want to know, what is your least favorite song that you've ever recorded? And can you play it for us now?
That one. Oh, least favorite song I ever recorded? Wow. I don't really have any least favorites. There was some early stuff when I was in Zoot that are pretty horrible. The very first songs I wrote. I'm not going to tell you the title because you'll look it up on YouTube and that will be that. So I'm not even going to tell you, but it's a horrible song. And yeah, that's the only one I really don't like.
Is it part of this collection, things that are on this collection, are there any songs that you could point to that were just a bitch to get right, that you work you tried it this way and that way? And
no, actually, you know why? Because I do pretty intense demos, and my demos sort all the ways to do it and not to do it. And by the time we get it to the studio, it's very rare that we change it up completely. There's been a couple of songs that have, but most of them are just transfer from the demo to the thing. Because I work really hard on the demos as I write. I'm changing parts all the time and trying new instruments and everything, because you can do that now. I got, you can have a 16-track machine like this big and then a 16-track keyboard, and you can basically work up a song real easy. So yeah, it's the only, actually there's the version of Little Demon on here from
live version, by the way.
Snake Kings, the live version, yeah, and I played it on electric guitar rather than acoustic. And I like that better, actually. I like the electric version better.
I love that whole record. I'm glad that you put a couple of tunes from the Snake King, including the title track, on this collection. Are you a frustrated blues musician or guitar god?
Frustrated guitar god. I don't think
you are a guitar guy, and I would say, and I don't mean to hurt your feelings, people don't think great guitarist Rick Springfield.
I know,
but you're a great guitarist, and that
I've been
playing
for how long have I been playing for? 170 years. So if I don't have any chops by now, then there's something wrong.
For people, as I say, I'm glad that you put those two tracks on this collection, Little Demon and the live version of Little Demon and the Snake King. And I don't think I've ever asked you this before. Little Demon, is it a tribute to another song? I'm parsing my words.
Yes.
It reminds me of Fleetwood Mac. See, that's why people should point to you as a guitarist.
It's a bit of a cop of.
Yep.
Yeah, because I love the whole. I mean, it's an arrangement. I copied the arrangement, and just different riffs and everything. But yeah, absolutely.
And you did the whole the transition thing too that they do in Oh Well.
Yes. I actually was thinking more of Layla on that one, and we're going somewhere completely different.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone's your influence, so. Yeah.
Well, I'll point to those two tracks for people who are going to press the shop button right now on Talk Shop Live, or comment buy on Facebook or Instagram. We'll send you a link. You can purchase Rick's double LP clear vinyl or signed CD, signed card, or the box set. Let's just go for the box set. You may as well, right? It's Christmas. Signed photograph book coming with that as well.
Coffee table.
It's a coffee table book. You can get a coffee table. Lisa M, thanks for checking in. Lisa, what are some of the favorite lyrics that you have written?
Wow. Oh, God.
Anything from um, well,
Well, I like,
Victoria's Secret.
yeah, I mean, I like, I like them all. I mean,
Right.
obviously
I know
that said
it's hard for
something.
the artist to pick out a favorite lyric, but is there, because you have a knack for turning phrases, you know, and I'm wondering if is there something like that you go, oh wow, that was a great rhyme I came up with there. Shit, I'm good.
Wow, I really impressed myself with
Right?
that one.
Damn.
I don't
If
know.
if not, then not is what it is.
No, I was actually, no, I mean, they've all got, things. I mean, some of them say more. Certainly, Three Warning Shots, about
Yeah.
John Lennon's murderer says a lot. World Start Turning, another song on here that was about, my depression. And so it's all, they all have meanings for me. Even Little Demon, they're,
What's the meaning for you for Little Demon?
can't tell you.
All right. Thank you.
Could, but would have to kill you.
Can you allude?
Wow, I better not. Let's just. Hello, Mark. How are things? No, I can't.
He's
I can't.
obfuscating.
It's a fantasy thing, I guess.
All right. Nick says he's really excited for your Greatest Hits 2 release, especially because it's a collection of more recent work in your catalog. How did you decide which songs to include on the LP?
Songs that I thought were good songs. I think that the best stuff I've written has been over the past 20 years, and it hasn't been all the hits. It's been stuff that I have written after that, and I like all these songs. A lot of them are fan favorites. We picked them because they're particular fan favorites, but they're all songs that I'm proud of. Yeah, I mean, even Jesse's Girl.
Even there are, I noticed a number of, I don't know how many, a number of co-writes with your friend Matt Bissonette.
Yeah.
And Matt played bass in your band for a bunch of years. He plays for Elton John now.
Until Elton stole him.
Elton totally copped him, snatched him.
Elton followed me all my life, dude.
Has he stole other guys from your band?
No. He said my wife stole me from him.
Oh.
No, I
then.
known Elton for a long time. I used to go to an acting class in when was it, like the early mid-70s, and Richard Chamberlain would come in every now and then, and Richard would have
Kildare,
parties.
if you're
What's
old
that?
enough. Dr. Kildare, if you're old
Dr.
enough.
Kildare, or Thornbirds, dude.
Thornbirds.
But he'd have parties, and of course, they'd like to have pretty actors and actresses there, and so our class would go, and I'd go, and Elton would show up, and I'd play some songs on the piano. Then Elton would get up and play some songs on the piano.
Wow.
And I met Nigel Olsson there, his drummer, and it was like, I don't know, it happened a lot. It happened, like a bunch of different parties. I was there when his Brown Dirt Cowboy went to #1, and we're all sitting around a dinner table. He's going, yeah. But he had a great bunch of people with him, and I actually ended up using Nigel and Dee Murray, his bass and drummer, for a 1976 album called Wait for Night, who and because I'd met him through the party scene. And so and he's, I've seen Elton on and off pretty much since then.
Yeah.
He actually gave me an award in Australia when I was 20. I won Best Guitarist in a local Australian poll, and Elton was over there for the first time, and there's actually video of him presenting me with this award.
Wow.
It's pretty wild. So we go way back.
So I guess you have to sort of forgive him for poaching your bass player.
Yes, I'm totally good with it.
Yeah,
totally good with it.
I got to know Matt as well, going to see you as much as I have, and I love the guy. He has a very wonderful, dry sense of humor. He's very understated.
He's a freak.
He is deep down inside. He is.
Yes. Oh, he's
What-
out of his mind, but he's
How-
brilliant.
How do you guys write together? You write on your own, mostly it seems. So, how for Matt in particular, there must be something because you've written 10 or 11 songs just on this collection.
Yeah. We have a very similar sensibilities. Actually, I first twigged his talent when he was playing with me, and he had another band called Squirts, and they'd open for us.
Mm.
And I was in the dressing room, and I'd hear all these great songs and go, "What the hell?" So I said, "We should write together, dude." And we started the Fister. We started writing. We had a three night show at a place there, and we stayed at the Fister, and we brought amps in and recording gear and just started writing. Just playing together.
Remember
like
the first song?
What's that?
Remember the first one you came up with?
Yeah, it was Victoria's Secret.
Holy crap!
Yeah. So it was, and we hit. I think we hit like 90% of good songs when we do write together. We're very, very similar. There was the thing I did with the Foo Fighters, The Man That Never Was.
Hmm.
I went in and Dave had a bit of a track and it wasn't like a complete song, and so we all got together and wrote a whole song, with a chorus and everything. But then he handed me the track and then said, "Go write a song." So I'm kind of going, "Oh my God, what do I do with this?" And Matt came up with The Man That Never Was, the idea of The Man That Never Was, which is it's a story from the World War II, where they had the British were trying to fool the Germans about where they were going to land in France. So they got this body, they dressed him up as a major, and they put fake papers on him and threw him in the ocean, knowing that he'd wash up. The Germans found his body, found the papers, thought they'd just stumbled on something, and sent their people over to the area where this fake document said, and the British came in, and blasted through. It wasn't Normandy, it was something around that time. But so that's what the concept of the song was, and then we made it into a kind of a metaphor for a bad relationship kind of thing. But Matt saved me on that one for sure.
That since you mentioned that whole project with Dave Grohl, him directing that documentary about Sound City, and your segment of it, I recall specifically, he was flipping out. I'm going to play with Rick fucking Springfield. I mean, that's all he kept on saying was Rick fucking Springfield. And it was like, now it's a thing. It was Californication. I guess he got it from Californication, because that's how you refer to in that? Or
he was the first with the Rick fucking Springfield. And then there are T-shirts too with Rick fucking Springfield on it, which is kind of very funny. But
let's see. Let's go to the chat here. Melissa M wants to know, she says, thanks for constantly coming out with new music for us. You're here.
Mm-hmm.
How long does it take to write a song?
That
A lifetime.
is an interesting question. It can take you from a day to 3 months to a year. I've written a song in a day, which doesn't happen very often. Jesse's Girl took about 3 weeks, because I like going back to songs. I'll write something and then I don't know if it's any good, so I'll leave it so that I can come back to it with fresh ears and play that part. And if I like it, then I continue the song. So I've in the 80s, I was writing a couple of songs at a time together, and I go back and forward to them all. And now I still write a bunch of songs together, but it's more focused, I think. But it can take, if it's, I have no idea why, but sometimes it takes a couple of days and sometimes it takes a year.
Yeah. I always hesitate to ask artists about their process, but for me, for a guy who couldn't write a song if my life depended on it.
Have you tried?
I come up with melodies all the time.
And then you realize, oh, it's a Beatles song.
Right. Oh, I didn't write that.
Da, 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 da.
So does it, I mean, we all know artists like in Keith Richards' book, you know, he talks about like having his antenna up, always looking for something that's going to inspire a song. You know, are you like that, or do you
Yeah.
wake up with songs in your head, or?
No, I do. I wake up with Beatles and Stones songs in my head, yes, and think that I've written them. Yeah. But there's a song on here, Automatic, that I actually woke up early one morning with, yeah, it's automatic. It's automatic. Baby, don't be static. Everybody's got one. And I sang it into a tape recorder. I think, yeah, that's probably someone else's song. I'll get up in the morning and go, oh, yeah, that's a Chili Pepper song or something, whatever, you know. But it was an original dream. So I finished the song, and that doesn't happen very often. You hear of writers dreaming songs, you know, like
Mhm.
Paul McCartney said he dreamt yesterday,
Yeah.
which is not a bad song to dream. That's why, you know, the gods were with Paulie. Damn it, I have ADHD, so I often lose my track. What was I saying, Marco?
We both have ADHD.
Oh, so you forgot too. Okay, good. All right, let's move on.
We get to start talking about
Fuck it.
the process.
The process,
You know,
yeah.
I hesitate to ask, like, how do you come up do melody?
I
How
have
do
no
you,
idea.
You know,
There's only 12 notes, and I have no idea how everyone comes up with different melodies with 12 notes.
do you
Well-
think? Are you? There's several artists that I've spoken to who, Phil Collins among them, who has said, "Wow,
You shouldn't
thank God
drop
I got
names.
that one."
You shouldn't drop names. You know who told me that? Frank
Phil
Sinatra.
Frank Sinatra. Thank you. That's Rick Springfield humor, ladies and gentlemen.
Oh, it's true.
It's
Okay, no,
Australian.
go ahead. Yeah. So, what did he say?
I don't know. I forget. I mean,
Oh, damn it, son! It was a good. I was with you there for a while. What was happening? Phil Collins said,
his sense of it's not, you don't write the song.
"No,
You grab it from.
yeah, it comes
Wherever.
through you."
Yeah.
I absolutely believe that. I mean, I believe there's an element that comes through you, and there's part of it where you got to sit down and go, "Oh, what rhymes with love? Above, glove, thinking of." You know, I mean, there's a certain workmanship
Right.
to it, but when the initial thing does come, you got to get out of the way. I absolutely believe that. I don't think we have that, you know, create that much in us. I think it comes from, you know, the gods.
Well, that speaks volumes about your sort of perspective on the world, I believe. You know, that there is a place where a song like would come from.
Mm.
Right?
Yeah. I don't know. I can't pinpoint it on a map.
Yeah.
But yeah, there is.
Somewhere out
You know, I believe there's more to it. You know, I've gone through the whole with the Snake King. I went through the whole, you know, God thing and how could it possibly be real and all that kind of thing. I have come to the point where I believe there is something out there that we can't conceive of, but that we can tap into, which creates these amazing, you know, I'm not just talking about songs, I'm talking about Einstein and, you know, the things suddenly appear for people. And I think that's tapping into something that's out there or around us or that's responsible. And that's where songs come from.
Yeah.
But,
There
you know,
are-
bigger than that. I mean,
Right.
You know, I'm being flipped, but yeah, it's an eternal quest, you know. I'm still on it.
And it's you have the antenna. I ain't picking up stuff, you know, from the ether. It's not going for me. So
I know, man. Next time you get a melody, send it to me.
I have to start singing into my phone first thing in
Yes,
the morning.
sing into your phone. That's why God gave you an iPhone.
There are a bunch of great songs on an incredible collection. That's why we're talking with Rick Springfield right now. It is coming out on February the 14th, so it will make a great Valentine's gift.
My mom and dad's wedding anniversary.
Aw.
Yeah.
and my engagement anniversary.
That's right.
I proposed on that day. Big Hits, Rick Springfield's Greatest Hits Volume 2, out February 14th. Press the shop button on Talk Shop Live if that's where you're watching us. If you are on Facebook or Instagram, just put buy into the chat and we'll send you back a link so you can make that purchase. Since we were talking about songwriting and who people that you write with and coming up with amazing songs, let's talk a little bit about your new song, Lose Yourself.
Hmm.
It feels to me, I'm just going to spew it out. It feels like a song, another song from Rick Springfield about how love ruins your life, but you love it.
It does, dude.
But you have to have it.
Oh my God. I know. More pain from love than good feelings.
Do you agree? I think that sadness is a much more powerful emotion and spawns better art than happiness.
Of course. I don't write happy songs. I don't. Love Is All Right Tonight's about the only I can think of the only one that, yeah, let's party.
Right.
Light this party up,
I
maybe,
was gonna
but
say,
there's
light
a
this party
downside
up.
to that one too.
Right.
Um,
It's on the collection, by the way, just pointing out.
Yes. And I when I'm happy, I don't look in.
Yeah.
I only look in when I'm upset or when I'm dark. What the fuck's going on? Why am I feeling like this? And that's when you start to come up with, why. And oh yeah, and if you're a writer, oh well, that might work in a song or in a story, or because all writers are looking, to use every emotion, everything they feel, and we're no different. Songwriters are no different. You get some valid, real feeling, and my first thought is, can I turn that into a song?
Of course.
Of course.
Sarah H wants to know about Don't Talk to Strangers. I've always wondered why part of the song is in French. That's my favorite part of the song.
The original part was actually in Spanish. I wish I'd kept it in Spanish because nobody speaks French. Even the French don't speak French. They speak English. They won't tell you.
They won't, because if you speak English to them, they're pissed off at you.
Yeah. No.
So
No
it was originally
No.
Spanish.
No parle anglais. Yeah, it was originally Spanish, actually, and that would have made a lot more sense because I'm in America. But at the time I recorded the song, for some reason I thought French would be cooler. It's a cool language.
It's kind of like the David Byrne thing.
I don't know what you mean.
Psycho Killer.
Oh yes, of course.
Yeah.
Qu'est-ce que c'est? Yes.
Qu'est-ce que c'est?
Yeah, I mean, it's a nice sounding language, which is kind of why. And I took it in school, which was pointless.
Because you do not speak the language today.
I do not speak the language. Actually, who gave me the French? I wrote it out in English, and Robbie Porter's wife, who was the person actually who invited me to acting class originally in 1975. Robbie Porter was my co-manager with Steve Binder, who directed the Elvis Presley comeback special.
Yeah.
They were my managers. They brought me over here from Australia. And it was Colette, Robbie's wife, that actually translated that into French for me. I knew some of it, but
What are you saying in French? Do you remember?
fuck you, Mark. I've no idea. No, I'm saying, fais l'amour avec moi, make love with me. Viens dormir, mon amour. Something, my love. I forget what it is. Je t'aime de moi ton cœur ce soir. I love you with all my heart, I believe, something like that.
It sounds so great when Rick Springfield
there's
speaks French.
Yes.
Brand, let's see.
Ma tante.
I'm not sure. I don't have a name on. Oh, Jeff says more on the book. Let's talk about the photo book a bit.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jeff.
Thanks, Jeff.
It's giant and it covers 20 years.
Yeah.
And I know I hesitate to get into it too deeply because we don't have photos that we can pull up to show
No,
people.
we don't.
So I don't, but know that it's beautiful. It's glossy. It's, it's better than a paperweight. It's good looking.
It's a coffee table you put legs on it.
It could be a coffee table. That's what you mean by coffee table book.
That's what I meant. Yeah.
Now
Thank you.
I understand.
It's a coffee table book, and you could turn it into a coffee table and put coffee on it, and
so the coffee table book that we are talking about is part of the deluxe collection. All of this conversation is about this great collection that is coming from Rick Springfield.
Are we flogging stuff here?
In fact, we're flogging it February 14th.
Right.
Wait, let me flog a little bit more. Just press the shop button. Press it now. Do it. Okay. Press the shop button on Talk Shop Live or comment buy in the chat. If you're on Facebook or Instagram, you'll get the link, and we will hook
Where's
you
your
up.
lovely pug?
We're going to get the pug before the end
Come
here.
on, we got to see.
I want just a couple of more things. Like I wanted to talk a bit about your other work. You have an extensive acting career. You got to act with Meryl Streep in Ricky and the Flash. I think you were on a soap for a while.
I don't remember that.
When we first met, I think.
Mhm.
But
remember
can you
that.
compare the concept to me of someone like you who writes their own songs and performs and plays and so on? How does that compare in terms of the dopamine rush to acting in film or acting in general? Like what do you get from that?
Actually, what's that?
What do you get from acting compared to?
It's a very similar feeling, actually. I feel great when I feel I've nailed something, and I feel absolutely suicidal when I feel like I didn't. Kind of like music. I'm that kind of guy, like that. But acting is. I've always been interested in acting, and I got into it to make money in between record deals, kind of, which was a pretty silly thing. But I've actually fallen in love with it, and I understand the process, and it comes from the same place as a musician. It's just a different skill set, But it's the same charge, and it's the same drive to create, to meaning and to connect and to, if I may be so bold, illuminate the human condition.
But certainly you contribute, but you haven't written the words that illuminate the human condition. So do you feel like that do you feel your part in that process?
Thank you. I'm leaving.
I'm trying to set you up here.
Oh, sorry. I've written scripts, yes, but when you're doing someone else's words, that you make them your own, just like you're singing a song that you've written, but you no longer relate to it. I mean, you have to get into the part. It's very similar in those aspects, but you own the part. I mean, that someone else wrote it. That's right. Beside the point. You own the part, and they have to be your words. And to whatever greater or lesser degree you convince people that they are your words and that you're really feeling that, is how the performance goes.
Right. And
I saw something the other day, and it was I can tell, you can tell when someone is acting and when someone is connected.
Right.
And I think people can, even though they may not recognize it themselves, they know, oh, I didn't really like that. But you can, an experienced actor, actually, I saw it, and I'm going, they're aware of, the camera. They're seeing the lines.
Right.
It's not in a full commitment. And I feel that when it happens to me, and I hate it. If you can't fully commit, if you you're thinking something else, or you're outside, you know, the character. But it's very challenging, and I love it. And yeah,
Anything on the horizon?
yes, I'm doing something now. Actually, I can't talk about it, I don't think, but yeah, I'm doing something right now. Actually,
Television or film?
it's TV.
TV. Series or special?
I can't say. I could, but they'd have to kill me.
They'll never find out. But it's great to know that is it something that we're going to see next year?
Yeah.
Okay. One more question before we wrap this up here. Let's see here.
I enjoy talking to you, Marco. I'm sorry we don't converse regularly as friends.
I agree. That's 3,000 miles between us.
Mm-hmm.
But we did have, for everyone who's watching, we had, I think, the heaviest conversation I've had with almost anyone when we were just a couple of weeks ago down in Cancun.
Yep.
Talking about some of the stuff that we touched on here.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to.
We're not always glib and light. We do get dark and heavy sometimes.
Yeah, and this is the time for that. We think about it. We think. Lots of thinking. Before we go, we got one more question here, and I'm trying to find it. Forgive me because I can't find the question exactly, but I will ask it for you. This person wants to know, will you be touring in 25?
Yeah.
You tour pretty much every summer, at least.
Yeah, we will be doing a summer tour.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, I won't be touring forever. But we are going to tour next summer.
Well, you can't stop before the Stones.
Why not?
I mean, Jagger's 80.
I know, man. He's killing it.
He's right. Even Keith.
It does. Keith.
Woof.
Keith.
Right.
Yeah, it keeps you young. You know, I mean, playing is my workout when I'm on the road. It's aerobic. It's yeah, no, I love to play. I love to play guitar, and I love to jump around like a fool. I love to entertain people. So, you know, if that stops, or, you know, I get health-wise or something, you know, you never know. I mean, you got to keep an open mind and
well,
hope, you know, you can tour for a while and see what the gods think.
I think all of us youngsters are looking to you. We idolize you, and we hope, you know, me, I'm so much younger than you are. And I hope that when I'm your age, I look as good as you do. So much younger, way younger. Way. Press the shop button, everybody. We're going to wrap it up here. Press the shop button if you're watching us on Talk Shop Live. Comment by on in the chat on Facebook or Instagram. We'll send you the link, and you can get the double LP clear vinyl or signed CD with the signed card, or go for the box set. It's signed.
Look at that little boy.
Look at that. Go for the box set. Signed photography book. You can make a coffee table out of it. Apparently, Rick will send you instructions.
I will. I'll send you the legs.
What we're going to do, I want to thank everyone who showed up and asked questions, and especially who's going to be pressing that button and ordering this collection. It's really an amazing collection. There's so many songs that are among my favorites that you have ever done. Ship Sinking, Wasted, Victoria's Secret. I mean, some of my favorite, 3 Warning Shots. Really, really, I can't say enough about the collection.
Yeah, I'm really happy about the compilation for sure.
Well done, and folks, you're pressing, you're putting by in the chat, you are being serviced. So let's wrap it up. As we said, there's some rarities on there. We've mentioned a couple. There's the Foo Fighters from the Sound City documentary. That one with Dave Grohl. There's the new version of Jesse's Girl. And there's some other little bonuses on there. But Lose Yourself, brand new song. So I'm going to ask you just to sort of set it up. And then as we close out here, we'll roll the video. Everybody gets to see the video.
Yes, this is me, and a song called "Lose Myself," and it's about being obsessed with somebody to the point where you'd destroy your life to be with them. And if you felt that, good luck to you. If you haven't, I
It's coming.
pity you. It's a pretty amazing feeling, but it's horrible and it's wonderful. And this is the song.
Rick Springfield, thank you
Thanks,
so
Marco.
much. Always great to talk to you. And thank you all for showing up, pressing the button. We will see you on the radio. Thanks, Rick. Here's Lose Yourself.
You're the perfect drug at the imperfect time. Before you crashed into my life, I was doing fine. I fall into you, and everything fades away. You burn through the world I knew, now I wanna stay. And I wanna lose myself. And I'm gonna lose myself. I should be past this shit, but it still turns me on. Right now I'm gonna lose myself. You're east and west, you're north and south. You're so dirty sweet as you spit in my mouth. I'd do anything for you, I'd bow and bend, and pretend you won't lose and just in the end. And I wanna lose myself, and I'm gonna lose myself. I know that I should quit, but it still turns me on. And when your friends talk shit, then I just bite my tongue. And I wanna lose myself, and I'm gonna lose myself. I should be past this shit, but it still turns me on. Right now I'm gonna lose myself. Your eyes baptized, and I'm no longer choosing. I am losing. And I wanna lose myself, and I'm gonna lose myself. I know that I should quit, but it still turns me on. Yeah. And when your friends talk shit, then I just bite my tongue. And I wanna lose myself, and I'm gonna lose myself. I should be past this shit, but it still turns me on.